Tonight, from First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, it's Sunday Night Football on EA Sports.
The so-called rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio, at First Energy Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Cleveland Browns. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Cleveland offense, and here's Baker Mayfield, former Heisman Trophy winner, ready to go at quarterback.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive. That's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
12 at the 23-yard line.
Here's Mayfield. Rush coming, and he's taken down. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Well, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry. Here's Jamie Gillen down. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Taken right around the 44. And the Vikings are in for the touchdown.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Mayfield to throw it, and finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Here's Jamie Gillen down. Remember, his first attempt was returned for a touchdown. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And taken right at the 35. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
Well, in prep for this one, it was fun talking with the defensive staff because they had to review last week's game tapes where he threw for over 400 yards. And they started ho-humming that performance. And finally, you said he threw for over 400. That's got to be significant. That's why he won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
They better be careful what they wish for ho-humming. He might do it again here in this one. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 18 carries, 125 yards.
And a rushing title's definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there. But they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there. And that'll make it third down.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. We'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
And the Vikings defense ready to head back out there now. And they've created a major first-half storyline with the pressure they've been able to create.
And I know that the good teams adjust from series to series. They make their adjustments on the sideline before they go back out. In this case, I think they might need a little bit more time. They want to get to the half and start figuring out how do they change protections, how do they get the ball in the hands of the passer a lot quicker, make sure he doesn't get hit as often, all those different things. Maybe even run the ball a little bit more. Anything to try and tamp down the pressure.
Now a handoff looking right. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
36 on the carry. Tackle made at the
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground. As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Out of the gun now on third down. And that will be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And taken right on the 30. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And you can see where they sit, perched right at the top. The question, Charles, with the perfect season they have going, what's on the line, how do you see them playing it out these final few weeks of the season?
But I can see the locker room voting unanimously to play to win. That's how they're built. It doesn't matter whether you're 0 whatever or undefeated. You want to play every game to win it. But I think from a management and coaching standpoint, you're looking at it and saying how much pressure is on this team to try and keep that record going, and is that really our ultimate goal? They're almost hoping maybe they get beat, and now you can start to rest guys and take the pressure off and just get ready for the playoffs.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Forced out to his left, and now he's going to use his legs. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's a gain of 34.
1st and goal, Minnesota.
Well, that was something to behold there. You might expect runs like that from a kick returner or wide receiver, but that's your quarterback hitting top speed.
And normally when you see guys moving this fast, it might be a fly pattern from a receiver or a toss sweep from a tailback or something like that. This was designed as a passing play, and then he got out of the pocket, and he just took off, and he just kept gaining momentum with every step.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kyle Juszczyk, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Well, they weren't messing around. 1st and goal, they don't do anything fancy. They just go to the fullback right away.
I like how you phrase that because oftentimes they come back to the fullback when it's late in the down and distance count, right? In this case, 1st down, let's go get it right now.
And he got it. 6 points on the board. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And right away, he'll look to throw. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
At the 35-yard line.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Taken down right.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 35-yard.
13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports.
13, Browns nothing.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Mayfield has got Hooper on the short connection and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there, 1st down.
10 at the 46-yard line.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Complete on the quick throw to Moore. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 47-yard line.
Mayfield on play action. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The Browns on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on 1st down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd. Here's Jamie Gillen now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away.
Receiving team. Come on, baby. We got to do our job. We got to do it.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The holding penalty negates a good return as they'll start just past the 20. Now Cook. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration.
And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack. On second down now, it's Cook. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. Call it 7 yards on the carry, so a pretty good gain, but still left with a tough 3rd and 8.
7 yards. And it's third.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, but it'll be second down. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. This is caught. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. That would give to the big fullback Juszczyk. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kyle Juszczyk with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Well, fullback touchdowns have become rare. We just saw 2 of them by the same guy here.
And if you had him on your fantasy team, I'm hanging out with you now for stock tips.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this...
Odell Beckham Jr. He's at the 40, 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. Denzel Ward right there in coverage to get the hand in.
It's almost human nature, isn't it? They score on one play, you come out on offense, you try and do exactly the same thing. They tried the deep ball, couldn't quite connect, but give them an A for effort.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. He'll look to throw. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 36 yards on the play. They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there. And that'll bring up second down. And this one too low. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
That's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Keenan Allen. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Can you believe it? He misses another one, his third so far. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield, and that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Jamie Gillen now, standing just outside his own goal line. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. A 2nd and 10 on a chilly, snowy December day, and I must say, I'm loving it. Kind of putting me in the holiday spirit. Charles hates it. And he's giving me the evil eye, folks. Allen has it, left side. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards the pickup there. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. Taken in at the 3. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he takes this way down, deep into Cleveland territory. A big play there out of Cook. 63 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like...
And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. Myles Garrett, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. 4th down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead now up to 22. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. That catch, by the way, number 940 in his career. So he's 60 away from a grand. But 940, that ties him with Art Monk.
And I think it's fitting that he tied Art Monk because of the way that he goes about his business, the way that he plays the game. Not a lot of flash, not a lot of dash, but plenty of production.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Mayfield looks to throw. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And to give this time to the tailback. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And that is incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I love the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down. Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he will have a Vikings 1st down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. A couple of 1st downs on the drive already. As they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. They run. Cook. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. After the play, not a good sign. Dalvin Cook staying on the ground. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he will have a Vikings first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. First, good for 20 on 1st down. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
And he almost intercepted him. They haven't picked the ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first. But at least it's 4th down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Being chased out left. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Get some 9 yards and a first.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Back to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Here's 2nd and 8. He'll buy some time right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and goal. Back to throw here. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. From 8 yards out. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. They seemingly just continue to score at will. And as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win. But one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly. After the sack on 1st down, Mayfield caught left side. It's Beckham. They'll wind up getting 10 back there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5.
Makes it 3rd and 5.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Mayfield to throw it. Now this is incomplete. Tre'Davious White, the LSU man, there to knock it away that time. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2. Cook, they'll try and run it. They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he will bowl his way in there for the 2 points.
First, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. It's Clinton-Dix with a pick. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
And down inside the 15 he goes. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll run for it with Cook. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got, If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
Round 7.
But I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns set and ready to go on offense. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th.
They spent a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit him over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
Here's Jamie Gillen now, standing just about on his own goal line. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. He's got it at the 15. And all the way down to the 12. A big play there for Minnesota. 51 yards. Offensively, another big chunk of yardage, Charles. But defensively, they had all this talk about trying to limit explosive plays. They have not been able to do that.
They discussed it all week, but they haven't been able to execute it at all. Haven't been able to find a way to slow down this offense. They're seeking answers and not coming up with any.
They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Again, he'll drop to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Incomplete in the end zone. Grant Delpit on the coverage.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll roll him out right. Yeah, that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit, but for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for two. Cook, they'll try and run it. They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he will bull his way in there for the 2 points.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
The Browns drive about to get started. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Harrison Smith. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Minnesota, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll drop to 9-5 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.